Okay guys, so welcome to the last part in our series of working with Phoenix Heatset Paints and painting Baby Miracle, who I'm so excited about, because literally I'm going to be matting with you guys now. I'm going to be doing the 3 times bake, and then we're going to be putting her together. So today is the 19th of April 2023, and that's going to be the birth date of Baby Miracle. So excited. I'm just overwhelmed excited. Yes, anyway, but that'll be much later today, even tonight, because still got to maybe put a dummy in her, see if that's needed or whatever. So now we're going to get to the matte varnish. So I'm pretty excited about this. I've just done a test on my testing limb of the matte varnish, and I just used a sponge, got a little bit of the matte varnish onto my paddle pop stick, and then I gently pounced it on with a sponge. That was just on my test limb. You're going to see me put it on the actual baby. So advice moving forward is a very nice thin layer. This is, you will see it anyway in the video in a minute. It's a wet sort of matte varnish. It's not like a Vaseline type of consistency like the Genesis matte varnish was. So it's pretty easy to do a nice thin layer, but that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you have a nice thin layer. Don't go doing it thick, otherwise you could get the chalky residue for sure. I'm going to do something I'm not going to matte the whole baby. What I'm actually going to do is, before I get actually I don't know if I'll do it at the same time, but I want to do a little bit more dewy skin around the front of her face there. And with the dewy skin, you don't have to go over with the matte. So I'm going to do dewy skin around that front part of the face, and then matte around the back of the head, typical area. So I'm just wondering, maybe I should do the dewy skin first, but I'm thinking I'll do it at the same time. But anyway, okay. So let's stop talking now and just get straight to the matte varnish and work on what we're doing. Hey guys, that's the most important right now. Let's go. Okay, so let's start this matte varnish. So the matte varnish I'll show you here, like I said, it's not really a thick consistency. It's more of a thin, it's not runny or anything, but it's more like a paste type of consistency. So do around 3 pea-size amounts again. Less is more really about at the moment, because I don't know how far a pea-size amount will go. So if I put too much in there, I'm wasting it. If I put too little in there, you know what I mean. So I'll just give that a mix up, and then we'll get straight to it. So just put the paste straight onto your cosmetic wedge, and then we just pounce it like we would if we were doing Genesis paints. Well, a lot of us did it this way anyway. And just make sure you push it out, like really using it, so to speak. So don't just do a little bit and say, oh, okay, I can't really see it anymore. Make sure you really do a nice thin layer. A little bit slow at the moment because I've got tendonitis in my left arm, and so I'm putting a lot of pressure on my right arm at the moment, and it's almost cramping up. Sorry about that plane going over. Try to reduce the background noise, but it doesn't always doesn't always work. So we can get that as much as we can. Stop locking up. Like I've told you earlier, if you do have some kind of arm troubles, just make sure you do it in pieces. So do the belly, rest your arm, come back. I myself am impatient, so I'll put up with the pain. Oh, to be young, hey guys. Although some of you are young. It's actually going on really nice, actually. I'm really, really loving it. You might hear my oven going in the background there. I decided to do another layer of dewy skin on some of the face. Some more of the face. So that's in there at the moment baking. And then when I go to doing the face, so by the time I get to the end of the legs and everything, that'll be cool. So when I do the head, I'll be just doing sort of the top of the head, the back of the head, any sides of the cheeks or anything that I didn't dew up a bit more. Just get a little bit there. Okay, it looks pretty great. Oh, I've got to say, let me just tell you guys, I mean, everyone's got different tastes. I 100% get that. We all have different tastes, but if you're looking for recommendations on heat set paints, look no further than Phoenix. I'm not joking. It's amazing. It really puts Genesis to shame. I'm sorry. I wish these were invented a lot longer ago. They are just so lovely. I adore it. So look no further. That's all I'm saying. Look no further. Go straight for Phoenix. You won't be disappointed. The beautiful velvety feel of the Phoenix paint as it goes on and as it bakes is just incredible. I definitely put my name to it, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's got that kind of guarantee. Obviously, as long as you're doing it the right way. It won't work out good if you're not using the right products or using the right oven or using the right temperatures. So with the right products, right oven, patience, not racing ahead just to finish. I mean, I know I'm excited to get finished here, but I'm on a time limit as well. I gotta have this baby ready for a doll show on Sunday where people will be looking at the paints and want to see, you know, the truth behind it, what they can produce out of the paints. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to keep painting this. I'll keep recording, actually. No, I won't. I'm not going to keep recording this. You know what I'm doing. You guys really know what I'm doing. I trust you. I'd rather have this video more so on me putting her together. So I'm going to go ahead and completely matte all of the rest of the kit, everything. The head, as I said earlier, I'm going to not rematte the dewy skin unless there's a section on the dewy skin that I want to mattify. And then I'm going to do the bakes. Now, don't forget, it is good to bake, you know, at least 2 to 4 times. You can tell if it needs more baking, for if it's a little bit chalky or feels like it's still on the surface a little bit. You can kind of feel when you rub it and you feel like it's loose. I don't know the experience with this matte varnish because I haven't used it before, but I will absolutely tell you after it's all matted how it went and how it felt and how many bakes I did. Okay, so don't be scared about that. All right, so let's go ahead, do your matting. I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, so it's time for me to put beautiful baby miracle together. I'm really excited. But before I go through that process, I wanted to sort of give you a little bit of insight into Phoenix Heatset paints. So I've been sort of spruiking out about how I think they're like 10 times better, 1,000 times better. And I've had questions of people asking me what makes them that much better. So I guess it is an individual thought anyway. So, don't exactly go by me. It's like someone might like that guy over there, but that guy they think is ugly, when this person might, that kind of thing. Everyone's perspectives of things are different. Why I thought that they were 10 times better is as within the first layers, when I was applying the paint went on really smoothly, really, really lovely. When I was blending those paints with the blending brush, it just was kind of effortless. I mean, you still have to work. You still have to, make sure you blend it properly. That's obviously a mindset. And then when they were baked, it was like a beautiful velvet finish. And I did feel like there was a little bit more, how can I say it, working time. Like I did mention earlier on in videos that I noticed like a little spot or something on one of the pieces before I had gone to bake it, and I literally just got my brush out and blended it, and that was like hours after I'd applied the paint, and it blended so nicely. It was just incredible how that happened. So I still felt that there was a little bit more working time. Now, when I used to work with Genesis, sometimes I felt I couldn't do that. And I didn't find them blending as nicely as these did. Of course they blended, of course they did. I just found so far that these to work very, very much better. I've already told you also that sometimes when you're doing that red wash in the beginning, sometimes it looks a little bit orange. That's just counteracting that with adding a little bit of blue. So, if you are deciding on getting the paints, it just means you need to think outside the box and work with them like that. The textured skin and the dewy skin I found was great. It was the first time I'd ever done it. So it wasn't really knowing what to expect. After I did the textured skin, the skin was really gritty, and I thought, well, I can imagine some people really not liking that feel. So that did concern me. The dewy skin, I was expecting more of a sheen when there wasn't. And it hasn't really bothered me. I can see a sheen where I've got the dewy skin on there, but it's not like gloss as such. I've gone and gloss, you'll see better soon, but I've gone and glossed Miracle's lips and stuff. So it's not like a gloss. It's just a light sort of gentle sheen, which is nice, giving it that dewy look. So I do like that. The matte varnish, I'm yet to keep working with that. I found it quite good. It actually feels really nice. It doesn't feel as gritty as it did when I just did the textured skin, but it is still like a sandpapery sort of feel, but I feel that means like it feels like it's really protected, really well protected. I was only doing the first test with the matte varnish with Phoenix, and applied it straight from the jar, as you saw, fully transparent there. But I would like to give some more trials of that, trialing it, mixing in a little bit of thinning medium, trying it, mixing in a little bit of odorless solvent, and find what I find to be the best result. So as an artist, if you're buying Phoenix and just going by what I do, it kind of doesn't really make you an artist. You need to be looking outside that box and, playing with things and getting your own perspective and way of using things. I mean, it doesn't matter if you use my way, that's fine. You are an artist, but you know what I mean. If you're not an artist, if you go and you use it and you go, I don't like that, you might like it if you did it a little bit of a different way, so to speak. But 100%, I'm the biggest fan of Phoenix paints, and I'm really quite happy to spruik my love for them. I really am. There's been many, you can get on Facebook and look up Phoenix Heatset Paints. There's a Facebook page there, and you can see other people's work with the Phoenix paint. So far, I've just seen beautiful images and heard a lot of praise. So Lucy, congratulations, you've made beautiful product there. I do now have the trial sets available for you to purchase on my website at www.aussierebornsupplies.com.au. Click on the link that says paints and there'll be a drop down menu that says Phoenix Paints. At the moment they are on the homepage under new products. I'm just trying to think of what else I need to say to you before we put it together. I just have really enjoyed it. So when you do get the trial set, you get 14 little containers of paints and mediums. You also get a 125ml bottle of odorless solvent. You get a pipette, a couple of those wooden craft sticks, and you get the full tutorial, which I'll bring back up to show you when I am putting it together. So you get a full 12-page tutorial, which is really working what we have been doing in these throughout these 6 series of 6 Phoenix Heatset Paints videos that you've been with me for. And I think it's pretty great value. I'm really making minimum. That includes postage within Australia. Internationally, it wouldn't be that bad. I think it'd be about $25 to have it posted internationally. So that's pretty great. The little paints come in a little closed container, so you can keep them all safe. Suggestion, as with I always suggest with any paints, whether it's my Magical Realism air dry paints, whether it was the Genesis heat set paints we used before, keep them in a cool, dark place. So don't leave them on your desk where there's direct sunlight. I'm guaranteeing you they will dry out and crack. I guarantee you air dry paints will dry out. Keep them in a drawer where they're nice and in a dark, cool place where they're happy and lovely. If you're in a really hot climate like in Australia, you might put them in the bottom of a cupboard or something, wherever, just as long as it's in a cool, dark place. That's where I would suggest. So keeping them going throughout the years. The paints, as I told you, will last many babies. Even my little trial sets, they will still last many babies. But you will find yourself having to repurchase the thinning medium, the dewy skin, and the matte varnish. And the thick medium. So those four paints you will find. And if you get the 30ml size of them, I think they are $49.95 each. So they are a bit high priced. But going without saying that, you wouldn't have to buy the paints for ages and ages. So it's kind of worth it. Now, when you're making the baby like you've just made with the tutorial, or like you're about to make with the tutorial, you do not have to do the textured skin. You do not have to do the dewy skin. You can just matte varnish at the end if you like. Okay, so test, play with it. If you don't like it, you never have to do it again. That's why I always say using your test lim, use your test lim as you're going it, maybe baking it along with you. So just when you get to that last part and you're saying, will I use textured skin or won't I? You can do the textured skin on your test lim, bake it, and you can say, is that what I want for my baby? Okay, so you don't have to do it. And that would mean subsequently that you wouldn't have to buy the thick medium, the thinning medium, or the dewy skin maybe. Maybe you'd only have to buy the matte varnish. So, you know, it's all about playing with things. I always say that to you guys, and I know you're always listening, so that's really great. Sorry, I'm just sitting here just trying to think of everything I need to tell you before I put the baby together. Because I just want everyone to be well versed with it. There is a few heat set products on the market. I can't say anything about them because I haven't tried them. So unfortunately, don't ask me how are they in comparison. You know, the Phoenix paints will work with Genesis heat set paints. So if you still got some Genesis and you want to start incorporating Phoenix, that is, you know, scientifically being allowed to do it. They work together. But yeah. These paints are made in France, Paris, France, which is kind of, you know, you feel like the quality is there already. I'm not sure. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me below and I will try my best to answer. I do, like I said, they are on my website now. I do send them internationally. You are welcome to purchase from me to send them internationally. But I do know there is other suppliers throughout the world that are already stocking these supplies. So you're welcome to look in your local area. If you haven't been able to find that and you really want, like I said, get on the Facebook page and ask who sells Phoenix Heat Set paints, you know, near me in Wisconsin or something like that. And someone will come back to you and tell you who stocks them. So that's quite important. I do know that the Fallen Angels nursery, who I looked at doing the textured skin with, she was saying on her videos that she thinks she's going to become a stockist. I do not know if that has happened. So, you know, you could always reach out to her too and ask her as well. Remember, we're all a big community. We work together, not against each other. So I am quite happy to obviously say, you know, you might get them cheaper there. I obviously have to pay my own conversion rates and get them to Australia. So, but I do try to keep prices down as much as I can. So I think that's it for now, because if you have any questions, drop them down below and I will help you. And now let's get into put Miracle together. Oh my God, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. Sorry, I might be a bit red in the face today. I've had a bad news overnight that a friend of ours, a young friend of ours, has passed away. So I've had a little bit of a weepy morning as such. But this is going to make me happy. Another thing I'll do before I go ahead is I'll just show you the head. I did do the eyelashes on Baby Miracle. You will see there. I did that because, of course, this is a Phoenix Heat Set paint video. It's not on how to do eyelashes. If anyone had that question, they could ask me and I'll do it later. I also applied the gloss varnish to the lips there, a little bit on the eyes, a little bit in the nostrils, a teeny dot just in the corner of the ear there. And then I also painted up the nails with that gloss. You can just see it there in the light. So I didn't go over the top with that. But again, the air dry, the gloss varnish I used was an air dry gloss varnish. It wasn't a part of Phoenix, so I just applied it. And if you're applying it yourself, it's just literally like painting directly on like nail polish toasts. Like nail polish type of thing, yes. So loving how the baby has turned out from start to finish, and I hope you have enjoyed and loved it as well. Thank you so much for those, you know, diehard fans who have been along with me the whole time. I've noticed you there, and I've loved your comments and support along the way. So let's get to putting Miracle together. I have got a doll show to attend tomorrow where I am selling my first lots of Phoenix Heat Set paint. So she's coming along with me so those people can see what they might be able to produce using Phoenix. Okay, let's put it together. Okay, so let's get this baby put together. Sorry about the video before this being a little bit fuzzy. I hadn't cleaned my lens properly. Big mistake, but I couldn't go back and do it, so there you go. But you didn't have to see anything, so that's all right. So okay, so we're going to start our process now with putting the glass beads and the polyfill in the legs. So I'm just going to show you quickly. It's all about Phoenix paints, but I'll still show you what I'm using. These are what I use inside the limbs. It's very fine. You can see that. This is premium fine glass bead. I always use that in my limbs because it creates a beautiful muscle tone. And then for my body and my head, I use premium coarse. So they are like super fine, little tiny balls. I always have been a firm believer on, if you're selling your baby, give the person the kind of quality they deserve, especially if you're asking a high price for a baby. There is the tumble glass options, which are a cheaper alternative and still do the same job. But I just think if you're selling a baby, use a premium product. If it's just for yourself or family or something, then go for the tumble glass. Like I said, it does exactly the same thing, but it's just quality, more refined. Okay, I would also suggest to use neck rings on your limbs, on the little, you know what I mean, the base bit. As to when we put them on the body, it helps to create them, have that perfect movement. You may notice that I don't have some neck rings on these arms, and I'm actually out of some plugs as well, but I'm actually not out of them. I just have a doll show tomorrow and they're all packed to go. So thank goodness that this is my own baby and I can pull it apart later to add those extras in, but I always advise that sort of thing anyway. So let's get the fine here. I'm just going to go with it. You're just watching me for fun, because realistically, like I said, these videos are on Phoenix Heat Set Paints, and most of you already know how to put a baby together anyway. So this is just for the people who want to sit back and watch the baby come together. Okay, so when I am filling my baby, I've got these silicone little beakers here, and they're nice and flexible. They do attract a lot of the glass bead weight, which can be a bit frustrating, but I love it for the whole pour factor because you can squeeze it and pour easily. Now when I'm putting the glass bead in the limbs, I go up to around the knee area. On like literally all times I do that, and you can give it a little squeeze to feel that muscle tone. So I'll just place that down there carefully. You don't want to place it down so the glass bead falls out. So I'm just going to fill up these 4 limbs with the glass bead first. Okay, that's good. And now the arms. I wanted to also say today is the 22nd, I believe. Yeah, 22nd of April. I told you I think it's in the video right at the start of this video, I believe. I told you the baby would be born on the 19th of April. But in typical Annette fashion, I got busy with other tasks. Like, as I say, I'm doing the doll show this weekend, and I ended up having a time I had to sort of get a lot of things done. I had a little bit of help, but not as much help as I usually get. So I ran out of time, basically, to do the video on the 19th. It's all fine. I did well. And, you know, people have other things in their life, so I'm fine with it. It's just that I ran out of time to get baby ready on the 19th, and then I had class on the 20th, and then the 21st I had a billion things to pack for the doll show. So today I'm having a little bit of a quiet day. I've almost finished all my packing, so I thought, well, what a perfect opportunity to get the baby ready before the show. So next I get the polyfill, and I fill each limb all the way to that top plug area. Now again, my 40mm plugs are all packed for the doll show, so I don't have them to pop in there. So I'll pretty much pack that tightly. What you're looking for, if this is the first time for you when you're putting your baby together, is you're looking for down the bottom, that nice squeezy muscle tone, slack squeeze, nice squeeze without hearing any, you know, crunching from if you were putting the course in. And then up the top again, it's a light squeeze, but you don't want it to be like that. You want it to be kind of like you're feeling a bit of muscle there. So I'll pack that in a little bit tighter. Just sort of roll it in there with your finger so it's sort of nice and neat. And that's a bit better. That's feeling a bit better, more muscly. So I'll fill the other one. I know that won't be enough. Just roll it in there like I said, so it's nice and neat. I might need to put more in there, but I've only got a certain amount of this left, and then I'm putting the premium into the body, the angel silk. Angel silk is not necessarily recommended or anything like that. I just have some here and I thought, well, I'm going to use that. So this, by the way, is just your regular polyfill that just doesn't want to go in this time. Okay. Yeah, I would like to add a little bit more into that. So I'm just going to get a little bit of angel silk. Oops, I got attached to my drawer. And I'll put a little bit in each arm at the top. Won't need very much. And then we can put the plugs in there because I have the plugs for that one. Just don't have the neck rings for this. The plugs finish it off nicely. We've got the nice muscle tone down the bottom and the nice squeezy muscle tone at the top. So that's perfect. And this one would do the same thing. And put the plug in. Nice muscle tone down the bottom and nice squeeze up the top. That's great. Okay, and again, I just want to check this. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so next what you want to do is actually put the limbs onto your body. As I said, we've got a full limbed body here. So those limbs go directly on. I'll just pop that in there. Ugh, it's going to be a little challenge because the cable ties are pulled a little tight, but we got it in. So once it's in there, put it into the position you would expect it to be while it's in a resting position and pull that cable tie. And you'll see with the neck ring on, it's nice and secure there. It's not going to come out, but it will turn easily. That's because of the neck ring. So put the other leg on. This one's again another tidy. Sometimes when you get the bodies, they're clipped at the end, the cable tie is clipped at the end, which then restricts you when you're trying to put the body on. Especially when you've got a neck ring there, because there's no play in that. There's no squeezing it in. So give me a second while I manage that on. I might even have to get another cable tie for that. Let me assess the situation. And yes, I did have to replace that cable tie. It was just too tight to get it over that neck ring area. That's okay. It's a benefit of living in our Reborn supply shop. I've always got it in stock. Well, not always. Shouldn't say that. I run out of stock quite often of these kind of products. Okay, make sure. Okay, so we've got our legs on for Baby Miracle. Now to the arms. Always make sure be thinking very carefully about what side you're putting the baby's limbs on, because as an artist for a while, I don't know how many times I've put it on the wrong, well, it's probably only like 2 or 3 times, but we do it, so it's a factor of thinking. Because I do not have the neck rings with these limbs, these arms, I have to be thinking of how tight I am putting on. This one's a bit tight as well. How tight I'm putting the cable tie. I will come back at a later date and put the neck ring on, but for this instance, I have to be able to sort of lightly move it like that. But then I also have to be able to pull that seam there and know that it's not going to come off. Just a couple more clicks will do that trick. Yep, it won't come off there, but it can still move there. Okay. Turn. And do give it a little bit of a pull, you know, like because we never know who's going to have that baby. And if it is a child, sometimes they grab it by their arms, okay? And that just happens. It's just a factor. So I've got some stockings here which we're going to put that coarse glass bead in. I've got a stocking that I've already started here with some coarse glass bead. But of course we're going to put some angel silk in the bottom of that first. So I'm just going to grab a wad of angel silk and pop that down into the bottom area, all the way down, packing it nicely. If it's got tushy cheeks, you need to make sure that you put them in those cheeks to puff them up so they look like they have little, so it looks like it has a little bottom. Like I said, most of you know all about this, so this is just for your entertainment purposes. This one does have a little bottom there, so I need to just pop that down in there like that, making sure to fill out the bottom. Okay, so I'll put that glass bead ball in there and we will fill it a little bit more. And of course, in Annette fashion, I took the silicone cup downstairs. Okay, so give me a second. I'm just going to find something that is next best up here that I can use. I should be able to use that. Okay. Just got a little porcelain painting dish here, so that'll be fine for picking up the glass bead and putting it in to make sure it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now what I do with all my babies, headless at this stage, and I've put the glass bead in, I pick them up like they are all put together and I give them a shoulder cuddle. And I think about how that weight feels. Does it feel too heavy? Does it feel nice and realistic? Or does it feel too light? At the moment, I'm feeling like it feels pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I'm going to lock and load that. Once again, if you're working with a baby from home, of course you're going to be from home, you can add more later, okay? Nothing is finished or set in stone unless you're really lazy and don't want to take it apart, which we do sometimes. Okay, so when you tie that off, don't tie it off nice and tight onto that glass bead. You don't want to be able to feel the baby's tummy and feel like a soccer ball inside. Actually, one thing I did do wrong, I'm going to undo that. Don't you love the reality of this when I make mistakes? I'm going to put a powder wafer inside, and I like to put it inside my pouch. So I'm just going to cut that powder wafer open with this terrible pair of scissors. Oh, that worked well. And then cut that in half. I use one in the body and one in the head. Okay, so in that pouch. And then, like again, tie it up higher. Just put that powder right down into the glass bead. Tie it up higher because you don't want to feel like a tumor in the belly. Okay, you want that to be really pliable and movable and work with the baby. And then after that's in there, fill the rest with your angel silk or polyfill. In it goes. It's being a little bit naughty. Here we go. It's quite a big baby, so she's got to take a bit there. Oh, I think it's a 20-inch baby, so it's not huge or anything. She's just long, feeling long in the body there. Put a little bit of that polyfill or angel silk behind and in front of your weighted ball. Now you can go really stuffed with your baby, or you can keep it so it's really maneuverable. So that's what I'm going to do at this stage. I'm going to leave it at there and see if I want to afterwards. So I'll put body aside for a moment. sit that nicely there. And then we go to the head. So with the head, same deal. I put a little bit of the polyfill in these into the back of the head, right down to the back. Now, Baby Miracle does not have a dummy. Her mouth would not allow for that. It was too, there's too much puckering in the lips and too much meat behind the lips. Okay, so no dummy for Miracle, but she's okay. She's going to be a good baby girl. Okay, then I'm going to get some stocking. Cut that stocking with my not very sharp scissors. They work, they do the job, but they just take a little longer. Very much longer. Wow, they are really bad. Well, not very good for cutting material, that's for sure. So this is a really bad example of cutting a stocking. So get in there. Okay, got it. Literally had to saw it and pull it. Okay, so I've got two open ends there, so a knot at one end. Put your hand in the stocking, if you can get it open, and then pop that down in there. Okay, then we fill it. Well, not fill it, but put a few scoops in there. All you need to do is keep lifting the head like I just did then, so to sort of get a weight on it. And once you've got a few scoops in there, pull that stocking together and place the head onto your hand and just sort of give it a mental way and think, okay, would that be about a baby's head? Possibly, yes, possibly. That one I'm happy with, so I'm going to tie away the stocking there and fill the rest of the head with my angel silk. Okay, and hopefully that's all nice. And with that other piece of powder wafer that I have, whatever, just pop it in behind that nose area. Okay, I'm feeling that's quite nice. Like I said, I do not have a plug for Miracle's the bottom of the head there, so I'm just going to place that on top. So you just place it in there, making sure all that polyfill's sort of down in and not poking out. Pop your head in. Hopefully this isn't a situation where I need to cut the cable tie and put another one in, but I do have a second one here for a just in case. Somewhere here. Oh, get in there. Yep, it goes in. Good. Okay. So like I said, I kind of want our Miracle to be pretty floppy because I love the maneuverability of that newborn sort of look. So I can tighten that there. Okay, and there, I'm liking that nice and head drop there. I like that. I really like that. Okay, so I'm going to get my cable tie cutters now. We're going to birth her. Wow. And then we'll dress her too. Okay, so cable ties in, or cable cutters in stock. Just cut the leg one. Cut it down as close to the entrance as possible, and always rub your finger on it to make sure that there's no scratchy end that could scratch someone. If there is, just try to grab it again and cut down lower. And one last one on the back of her head. Should check my time. And that should be baby born the 22nd of April at 1:38 p.m. Yay! Look at her. Okay, let's put her, let's dress her. Let's just get with this and dress her. I would have loved to dress her a little bit better for you guys looking down on her. But unfortunately, as with everything I'm doing, like I said earlier, I have packed my beautiful camera selfie stick. The one, well, it's not a selfie stick, but the tripod that I use. So put the baby on this, and hopefully you can see the best you can. I'll dress her backwards if I have to. Okay, I've got this cutest little Honest diaper here with the floral print on. So we're going to start with that. Actually, I will turn her around, make it easier. This will be really quick, guys, so you won't be without seeing her for long. Pop that nappy on there. Oh, look at that. So cute. Okay. And then I've just got like a little diaper. Well, it's just a pair of white pilchers. I'm going to pop those on. I'm going to try something. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I've got this little white petticoat with a little bit of lace on the bottom. So I'm going to put that on as like an underdress. She's going to be wearing a dress. I just thought that would be a nice sort of additive. Just got some buttons at the back. Pop those on. Well, it's only got one button. Oh, it's got another button, but it's missing the button. And this is her dress. I should take the button off. I should get it ready, shouldn't I? Okay, it's a beautiful pink Peter Rabbit winter dress. I'm just going to pop that over her head. In with her arms. Just turn her over and do up those buttons at the back. Hopefully the dress looks okay. You know when you buy an outfit and it looks perfect and then you put her on and you're just like, that's way too big. It looks horrible. So hopefully it's not horrible. Oh, it looks okay. No, it looks good. Okay, and to finish it off, I'll just show you her actually from that. And just to finish it off, I need to work out whether cream booties or white booties look better. Ooh. And then whether a cream, actually I was going to do the cream headband. That would look good with that. So okay, we're going with cream. The cream sort of fawn coloured booties. I'll put them on. I'm sure they will look perfect. Well, they kind of match the headband, so that's what I'm going with. And I do like it for that vintage sort of look. So don't forget, after I'll show you sort of looking down on her as well. I won't keep it all from you. Just trying to get it all nice and perfect, right? Other shoe, it's got fluff on it for some reason. You ever think back about things you've got, like these booties, for instance? I don't even know where I got them from, but they are absolutely beautiful. Crocheted. Okay, and then for her headband, I've got two of the same headband here, and it's just ever so slightly different. I think that's the one I'm going to go for. Beautiful. Okay. Now she is all ready. I'm going to give her a cuddle first. Hey, so much work, and she's finally here. Oh, I do adore her. So welcome, Baby Miracle. Okay, thank you everyone for watching Baby Miracle come to life here at Aussie Reborn Supplies. Look at her. She's going to come to the doll show tomorrow and hopefully get lots and lots of cuddles. Don't forget she does have a belly plate, but with the belly plate, for me, that's more of a display item. If my baby is on display, I'll put it with them, but it's not like an everyday item. So yes, I'll probably take it to the doll show just so people can have a touch and feel. But right now I'm going to clear up the space and then show you her from your own perspective. Oh, by the way, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting Aussie Reborn Supplies.